Hi, this is Phil from Monster Magnet. You're watching Underkill TV.
I'm a stone jet fighter with a heart of gold.
Hello and welcome to Underkill TV. I'm John with Phil from Monster Magnet. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm here.
And how has Europe been so far? Welcome to Wales, I must say.
It's great to be in Wales. Right?
I see the weather's been really good since you've arrived.
It's proper. I wouldn't expect anything less. It's great. Europe's been great. It's great to be here. We love playing the UK. So, you know, it's really good to be back here and do a bunch of shows here, you know. And we'll take care of Europe when we get back there, you know. But Scandinavia was great. Holland was great. Belgium was great last night, you know. And we're just happy to be over, you know.
And you've got a new album out. Tell us a bit about that.
Oh, it's out. Mastermind, new record, you know. We worked hard on it at the beginning of last year, you know. We went into the studio, I think, mid-January, recorded it up, took a little break. Dave wrote some lyrics, got in there, recorded the lyrics, mixed it, and it's out. You know, we're really happy to have the new record out. It was a lot of work and a lot of fun making the record.
I've noticed it's had some really good reviews and really nice write-ups. How would you describe Mastermind to any other sounding Monster Magnet album?
I'm really happy that people are digging it, you know, and like we didn't do anything for a long time, and then to, you know, take the time to tour properly for a few years and then make a record, I think was really, really good for us. And Mastermind, to me, it kind of brings a lot of the older Monster Magnet sound back into where it kind of ended off in kind of like Power Trip and God Says No, and then kind of bring all those records from before that into this record, and with a lot of new stuff, with like a kind of new approach to writing. And the way we recorded the record was kind of, Dave and I had a plan and play of how we wanted to record this record, and we stuck to it. And it was really, we're both really, really happy that we stuck to that plan. And with the writing and how we wanted the sounds to be, how we wanted the bass to be, how we wanted the drums to be, and we kind of made the foundation for the record and built off of that, which was really, really a lot of fun.
Excellent. Another thing I was going to ask you, that I think the last time I seen Monster Magnet at a festival in the UK was the Big Day Out 1999. Do you remember much about that show?
I remember it very well. I mean, that's, how could you forget that? You're on stage doing what we did. I mean, you know, we were, at the time, we were on tour with Metallica in Europe. Yeah. And that was the last show at the Big Day Out. And I remember we had the day off the night before, and Dave and I were both up really, really late on the bus. And I conked out for a little while, and he had this little piece of paper, and he decided, it's like, well, they're not giving us enough time, so we have to do something crazy. I'm like, what do you got? He's like, we're going to light everything on fire. And I was like, okay. And so then I was out in front of the bus having a smoke, and all the crew guys were coming off the bus like, why does he want to do that? It's like they gave everybody little chores of what they had to go get for the day, you know, so we could do it. And so here we were on stage, and sure enough, we just went at it, you know. And I just remember all of a sudden it started really slow. I didn't think everything was going to take off. And what was really great, we had it under control. We had Metallica's pyro guys helping us with if there was going to be a problem, so we knew it wasn't going to spread or do anything. And the way we did the pyro wasn't like normal how bands do it. We just had a bunch of lighter fluid, soaked up, this like really heavy duty, like for your barbecue, you know. That's right, yeah. And we soaked all these sheets and towels and stuff in it, put them over our platforms, put them on the mic stands. And my guitar was the first one that was going to go, so it was wrapped in this fabric soaked in that fluid, and I torched it, and I was like, it's not going, so I did it again, and went, whoosh! So then I just like, so I just like started smashing it into the other stuff, and the stage just went ablaze, and it was fucking beautiful. It was fucking great. I mean, I'll never forget it. We still, you know, every once in a while we run into people who were there. It's great to run into you, that you were there. I mean, randomly a guy in Australia on our last Australian tour was there, so it's just really, really fun to have done that, you know.
I remember one thing in the press reviews the week after the festival. They said some things that should have been the best band of the day by a mile. And how does that make you feel that you had better reviews than Metallica on the day? I mean, there were some great bands there, and you had the best review of the day.
I mean, that's great. I mean, good reviews are good. I mean, it makes you feel good about what you do. I mean, I never really ever compare us to any other bands or stuff like that. We just do what we do, and that's what we go about our business, how we go about our business. And that day was just a special day, so I'm glad it got reviewed like that. It's cool.
And going back to the live show as well, what sort of songs off the new album Mastermind are you going to play? I mean, it must be hard to pick the set list.
We've been doing quite a bit. We've been doing we've been mixing it up. Mastermind, Gods and Punks, Bored with Sorcery, Dig That Hole, and Hallucination Bomb. And they kind of revolve of which ones we're going to do in the particular night. But it's great to have those songs to build a set around, as well as some older stuff we haven't done in a long time. We've been doing Nod Scene from Spine of God. Wow. We've been doing Look to Your Orb, Further Warning from Dopes to Infinity. And haven't played those songs in close to 13 years.
Really?
So it's great to be mixing old and new, and then we'll be doing some stuff from Power Trip or whatever. I feel that we have a really strong set for this tour.
And what do you think with the state of the music industry at the moment, with all downloading and things like that? I mean, some people say it's good that you can just go to iTunes and buy a record. I mean, me myself personally, I still dig going there, and especially with a band like Monster Magnet with the artwork, and you always get like a deluxe edition CD and stuff like that. I always still prefer to buy the CD over downloading it. Are you guys the same sort of mind as that?
I'm the same way. The one thing that's good about downloading is that, like, if you get turned on to something from a friend and you go to the band's website now and like you listen to a couple songs and you go to iTunes and maybe download something, it's like, oh wow, it makes me want to go out and buy the record. I prefer CDs and vinyl and all that, but it's the nature of the business. This business has changed quite a bit, very fast and very slow at the same time. I remember talking about downloading 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's definitely affected how we go about making records, which is plus and minus. It's all plus and minus. I really don't care about it or think about it too much, but I'm like you. If I want something, I'll go buy it. And I figure that, like, if it's the business that I'm in, and I'm a guitar player in a band, that I should support other guys in bands as well, and buy their stuff and buy their T-shirt and things like that, because that's the only way this is going to keep going. The industry has just changed so much that I just choose not to look at that. That's not part of my life,
Excellent. And one last thing I was going to ask you, Monster Magnet have now been going, is it 20 years now?
Yeah, 20 years plus.
What has been, since you've been in the band, what has been your proudest moment being in Monster Magnet?
My proudest moment, wow. I'd have to really say this new record.
Really?
I really would, because of all the band's obviously had a lot of ups and downs, and you being journalists, I mean, Dave had his issues, I had my issues, I left, and then we had changes go on, and then we have new changes going on now. But nothing ever can replace the quality of the music. You know what I mean? And Mastermind was we all had Dave and I both had a lot of personal stuff going on around this record, as well as Jim, our bass player. And we just kind of powered through it. And we took our personal things that were going on and put it back into the music. And I think it made for a very, very strong record. So for that, I'm really proud of, where a lot of guys would have just like, oh, stop, let's wait until everything's sorted out. But we didn't want to do that. It was just, and I think that with Dave and I both knowing each other for as long as we have, to have, like I said before, have that plan and stick to it, and not let things with the label and the other producer and like the things that were going on around that record affect the record. I'm really, really proud of that. So that's what I would say.
Excellent stuff. Well, thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to the show.
We'll have a good time.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we're going to torch this place tonight, but we don't know what Dave's plans are when he gets here.
Well, I'm Alistair from Underkill TV, joined by Phil from Monster Magnet. Hope you enjoy the show. Check them out, Monster Magnet UK tour. If you want to see them as well on the website, check out the website here. I'm Alistair, and this has been Underkill TV.